Pranam everyone. Okay, this is the third day of the lecture. Today is time to move forward. You must have remembered that in the last turn we have discussed about the different parts about a user defined functions. In the last turn I have told you what is a function header, what do you understand by parameters, body of the function, return statement and indentations. Okay, I have explained about all the different parts of a user defined function, and after that I have told you that there are different ways of calling a function in a program, and I have told you there are basically, this is the fifth only, do not consider it because this particular way I have included with the first way. So there are basically 4 different ways of calling a function in a program. Okay, and I have told you whenever it is must to call a user defined function in a program if you want to execute the body of a user defined function which you have defined in the program. So the body of user defined function, it executes itself whenever you call that user defined function in a program. So function calling is very much important in all the programs, okay, in which you have defined a user defined function, because when you will call that particular function in a program, then the body of that user defined function will execute itself, and then you will get the output of that user defined function. That means that user defined function will perform its task. Okay, so I have told you in the last turn what are different ways of calling a user defined function in a program. I hope that you all must have understood in a proper way. Today it's time to move forward. So today basically I am going to write a program, and in which I will try to find the area of 3 different shapes. Okay, and those 3 different shapes will be square, rectangle and a circle. Okay, so you will see that how I will organize that particular program, and after that we will move forward direction. Okay, but before moving to the forward direction, I want to write a complete program by using 3 different user defined function, and each user defined function will be able to perform the shape of the area of a particular shape. Okay, so here I am going to start. That is, what is a program? A program to calculate the area of 3 different shapes, that is square, rectangle and a circle. So in this program, for performing the area of 3 different shapes, we will use 3 different user defined functions, and each user defined function will be able to perform the area of a particular shape. So that program we will see that how we will see that in this program that the proper use of user defined function, more than one user defined function we will use in this program. Okay, so see the program properly and try to understand that how we will organize this particular program. So first line we will start. This is the comment. After writing the comment, the first I will define first user defined function that will calculate the area of the square. So our function definition will be start from def keyword, def, and I will write a square, and we will know that the area for calculating the area of function, the area of a square, only one value is required. That value will be the side of the square. I will pass only one argument, that will be the side of this particular square, and after that we will put the colon symbol. Then from the next line I will put the enter key, then there will be the indent of 4 space. Then we will start here directly. I will not use in this user defined function return statement. We will directly calculate the area side into side, then print area of square is equal to AR. So this is the complete definition of a user defined function that will calculate the area of a shape. That shape will be square. After giving the space of one line, I will define the second user defined function, that will be the rectangle. In rectangle we have to pass 2 parameters, because we know that for calculating the area of a rectangle both length and breadth are required. So here I will write here length 2 parameter and breadth. After that area is equal to length into breadth. Breadth. Then we will print area of rectangle equal to. So this particular user defined function will be responsible for calculating the area of a different shape, that will be the rectangle. The third user defined function, we define the third user defined function, that is the name of that function will be circle. And we know very well, for calculating the area of a circle, one argument is required, that will be the radius. Radius of that particular circle. So here for calculating the area of a circle, that is pi r square. The value of pi r will be like 3.14 into radius into radius pi r square. Then after that print area of circle. So you can see that I have defined all the required user defined function for calculating the area of different shapes, and each user defined function is responsible for performing a specific task. That means the first user defined function named square is responsible for calculating the area of a shape, that will be the square. The second user defined function named rectangle, that will be responsible for calculating the area of a rectangle. And the third user defined function named circle, that will be responsible for calculating the area of a circle. Okay, so this for each user defined function is capable for performing a specific task. That each user defined function you can see in this program is responsible for performing a particular task. Okay, so in this way, any number of user defined function you can use in the program, and each user defined function will be required for performing a specific task in that particular program, and whatever the command statements are required, that you have to write in the body of that particular user defined function. Okay, that means for performing that particular task, how many statements are required, that will be available in the body of that particular user defined function. Okay, and after that, the next line we will start from here, that is we will call a function. After definition of function, I'm going to write one statement, print, then now the areas are as follows. And then I will call the first user defined function. You can call in any sequence or the user defined function as per your need, as per requirement. So in which way the first function which you will call, that will perform its task first. Suppose here I'm going to call the third user defined function, that is circle. If I will call this function first, then the body of this particular function will execute itself first, and then you will get the output of this particular user defined function first. So the sequence of calling you can arrange, you manage according to your choice, according to your interest. But here I am going to call all the user defined function as it is, as I have defined, but you can change it as per your needs, as per your requirement. That always keep remember which user defined function you will call first, that user defined function will execute first, and you will get the output of that user defined function first. Okay, so keep remember. So here first user defined function I am calling by directly passing the value square, that is 5. Then second user defined function I am calling here rectangle, that is 3.5 comma 2.5, and circle I'm ready 4. Okay, so you can see when I will execute this particular program, so execution, this is the first line of statement, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one, this is 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and you can see 13. So when you will execute this particular program, when you will run this particular program, so you will see the first statement, that's the comment, that will be completely ignored by the interpreter, and the first statement which is available in this particular program, that will be the header of the first user defined function, that will be, it is interpreted by the interpreter. This particular header will be interpreted by the interpreter, and it will consider this one user defined function has been defined, and after that it will jump directly to the fourth statement, and here another user defined function has been defined. So this will be the second statement which will be interpreted by the interpreter, and after that we will jump to the seventh statement, that here again one definition has been encountered, and interpreter will consider one more user defined function has been defined, and after that it will come to the first statement of the main program, that will be the 10th statement, because here Rest of these are the definition, and definition we execute only in that situation when we will call the function. So actual execution will be start from this statement, and you will see the one statement has been displayed on the screen, that is now the areas are as follows. And after that it will come to the 11th statement. Here I have called a user defined function square with passing a one value, that is 5. So this particular 5 will be the argument, and this argument, this value will be the argument of this user defined function. This argument will be passed to the parameter, that means the value of side will be 5, and after that the complete definition or the statement which are given under this user defined function, that will executes one after the another. So 5 into 5, the 25, area will be 5, the area of the square. The first output after this line, the first output, another line will be displayed on the screen, that the area of square is equal to 25. After that, after 11, the next statement which will execute, that will be statement number 2, then 3, then it will come back to 11, statement number 12. Then here 2 values has been passed, so again these 2 values will be passed to the length and breadth, and here area will be calculate, then area will be print. After 12th statement, then the statement 5th and 6th will execute itself. That will come back to the next statement, that will be 13th statement. Here again I have called one user defined function by passing a value 4, that 4 will be passed to the radius, and after that will be calculate here area, and then the statement 8 and 9 will execute itself, and then your program will be terminated. The sequence of execution. The statement, that will be statement number 1, then statement number 4, the statement number, you can see 7, after that 10, then 11, then 2, then 3, then come back to 12, then statement 5, statement 6, then statement 13, then statement 8, then statement 9. This will be the sequence of the execution, according to which the flow of control will be flow in the complete program. Okay, so you can see from here that which statement will execute. Okay, which statement will execute first, then which statement, after that which statement. So this is the sequence of all the statement which will be executed by the interpreter of the language. Okay, so you can see here I have used one program here in which I have used 3 user defined functions, and each user defined function is responsible for performing a specific task. That means it is responsible for calculating the area of a particular shape. So I have taken to calculate the area of a particular shape square, then one user defined function named square, another shape, another area which need to be calculated for another shape, that is rectangle, another shape that is area need to be calculated is circle. And after that I have written all the required statement which will be required for calculating the area of that particular shape. The number of statements under the definition of the program of the user defined function completely depends upon the requirement. Are you getting my point? Okay, so one more thing I want to tell you all that in the last time I have told you, at the time of function calling, whatever variable or literal or you can say expression we pass, that is basically known as argument. At the time of function definition, whatever variables we need to specify in function header, that are known as parameters. But there are another name of parameter. Parameters are also known as you can say parameters are also known as formal parameters, or you can say formal arguments. Another name of parameters are, you can say, are the parameters, or you can say formal parameters, or you can say formal arguments. In the same way, there is arguments which are which need to be passed at the time of function calling, that are known as argument, or you can say actual parameter, or you can say actual arguments. Okay, all are same. Okay, so but I will use here parameters, arguments and parameters. Okay, the parameter means that list of variables which I have specified at the time of function definition, and argument that list of variables or reiters or expression which I have specified at the time of function calling. Always keep remember, in function definition the list we can pass only parameters can be available in the form of variables. They cannot be available in the form of you can say reiters or expression, but arguments can be available in the form of variable, can be available in the form of reiter, that can be available in the form of expression also. Okay, now I am going to one more thing I want to tell you, that it is not compulsory that at the whatever function you are going to define in that particular function, you need to, it is compulsory to pass a parameter as a argument. Okay, you need to pass parameter, it is not compulsory. Okay, you can take a particular user-defined function with zero parameter, that means in that in any type of parameter is not required to pass. Okay, so I am writing one more program here, in which I am not, very simple program going to write, in which no parameter I am going to pass. So a program display a message. Okay, so I'm going to write a program to display message. Then this again I am going to define a parameter definition message. Right here in this program I'm not going to pass any type of parameter. Okay, so passing a parameter in function definition, that is completely optional. You can pass, you cannot pass. Okay, if you feel such type of requirement, you can pass. If you do not feel such type of requirement, no need to pass. Okay, and after that I simply printing a message. Okay, this message I am passing the maintain social distancing to avoid COVID-19. Okay, so in the current generation, in the current scenario, this message is very much important, so keep remember. Okay, and after that 1 function I have defined. Now after that I am simply calling this function directory my message, and then this program is over now. Okay, so these are the 1, 2 and 3. So when you will execute this program, the interpreter first it will go to the function definition, and it will understand one function definition has been encountered, that one function has been defined, and after that it will jump to the third statement of this program, and I have called a particular function method, and then again it will go to the second statement here, that means the body of the function, and it will, this message will be print on the screen. So you can see that here I didn't pass any type of parameter, and I didn't pass any type of parameter is not there, then there will be no argument, because argument we pass at the time of function calling whenever we want to copy that argument into the parameter of the function. Okay, so it's complete depends upon the requirement. Now one more thing I want to tell you all, that parameter passing That means whenever you call a particular function with any particular variable or return, that particular return need to be passed to the parameter of the user defined function. So parameter passing is basically always keep remember that at the time of function calling, that number of variable or return are required to pass how many parameter have been passed at the time of function definition. So you can see in square only one parameter I have passed. So here at the time of function calling only one argument need to be passed. Here I have in rectangle function I have at the time of function calling two parameter I have passed. So that way at the time of function definition it is compulsory that we need to pass two returns or variables or expressions. Okay, if in circle I have one parameter I pass, so at the time of function calling only one argument is required. So how many number of parameter I have passed at the time of function definition, or that number of argument also need to be passed at the time of function calling. If there is one parameter, so at the time of function calling there will be one argument. If there are two parameters at the time of function calling, there will be two arguments. At the time of there are three parameters at the time of function calling, there may be three arguments. Okay, are you getting my point? Okay, so how many number of parameters are specified at the time of function definition, that number of arguments are required at the time of function calling. It is must. Okay, and the second thing which need to be keep remember that the sequence. Suppose here you have passed here are two parameters are required, and here you are passing two arguments also. So whatever first argument you will pass, that will go to the first parameter of that function, or whatever the second argument pass, that will go to the second parameter of that user defined function. In the same way, if there will be third parameter, the third argument need to be passed, that third argument will be passed to the third parameter. So whatever sequence you have mentioned at the time of function definition, so when you will call that particular function by passing that number of argument, so that order will not be changed. The first argument will go to the first parameter automatically. The second argument what you will pass, that will go to the second argument. The third argument which you will pass, that will go to the third parameter. In this way, this will be the sequence. Okay, that will not be changed. Okay, but Python basically provide you that were three different ways of passing parameter, which need to be keep remembered. That the first way is known as the positional, or you can say required parameters. The second one is known as the default parameters, and third one is known as the keyword, that is also known named or named parameters. So parameter passing are basically there are three different ways of parameter passing. The first way is known as positional or required parameter passing way. The second is default parameter passing way. Third way keyword or named parameter passing way. So I will tell you all these three different ways with the help of one example. So first way we need to discuss the positional, or you can say positional, or you can say required parameter. Basically this is known as the default parameter passing way. So whatever program we have discussed earlier, in which whatever argument we are passing, that are passing to the parameter to its default way, that is known as positional or required parameters. Okay, so that means again I'm telling you with the help of an example. Suppose I'm going to write a program for calculating the rate of interest, calculating the simple interest with the help of one user defined function. a program to calculate a user defined function. Okay, so in this program we will calculate I will calculate one I will calculate calculate the simple interest. So in this program I will define a user-defined function through which I will calculate simple interest. So here I'm going to define that user-defined function, that is definition, that is simple interest, and here I am passing three parameters, that is P, R and T. Okay, and after that here I have written SI is equal to P into R into T and divided by 100, and after that I will print it. Print simple interest is equal to SI. Okay, and after that print statement I'm specifying, that is simple calculation is as follows. Calculation is as follows. Now after that I will call this user-defined function, that is simple interest. Here it need to pay attention that here I need to pass either three different variables or three different liters or three different expressions. Then I am passing three different liters here. So for P I am passing 5000, rate of which I am passing suppose 10, at time I am passing 2. Okay, so you can see here I am passing parameter according to positional or required parameter. That means how many parameters are required according to their position, that number of argument will need to pass according to their position. That means here in the user-defined function 3 parameters are required, so here I have to pass 3 arguments, and according to position, the first argument I will pass, that will go to the first that will